All right, let's dive in. You know, when we got that Wikipedia article about Super Mario World, I was like, oh yeah, we have to do a deep dive on this one.
It's such a classic.
It's a classic, and I think people, even if they've played it a million times, there are some things that maybe they don't know about it.
Yeah, always some hidden depths to these games.
So before we get into those hidden depths, for anybody who hasn't played Super Mario World, first of all, what are you doing? But also, it's your classic Mario story, right? You gotta rescue Princess Toadstool.
Right, from Bowser.
From Bowser. And this time, he's got the Koopalings.
Of course, he's got to have his kids there, too.
Yeah, and there are all these Yoshi eggs.
Yes.
Which is a pretty major addition to the game.
Yoshi changes everything.
Yoshi changes everything. So, for you, what's the biggest thing that Yoshi brought to the Mario franchise?
Well, I think it's how he changes the core gameplay loop. Before, it was all about jumping on enemies.
Right, or avoiding them.
Or avoiding them.
Yeah.
But Yoshi, he lets you eat them. And then you can spit them out as projectiles.
He kind of weaponizes you a bit more.
Yeah. And then, of course, there are the different colored Yoshis.
Oh, yeah. What was your favorite colored Yoshi?
I think I gotta go with the blue Yoshi. I mean, who doesn't want a flying dinosaur?
Flying Yoshi. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that one. You get him from the Blue Koopa shell, right?
That's right. And you can use them to access all sorts of hidden areas and secrets. What about you? Which Yoshi did you like?
I loved the red Yoshi.
The fire breather.
Yeah. I mean, it's basically like having a flamethrower.
Pretty powerful. Did you ever manage to keep him alive for a whole level?
Oh, man. That was a challenge. But so satisfying when you pulled it off.
You felt like a pro.
Total pro. So, I think we can agree that Yoshi really changed the game. Literally.
He really did.
But there's another big factor here. This was the first Super Mario game on the Super Nintendo. What did that new hardware mean for the game?
Oh, it was massive.
Yeah.
The Super Nintendo allowed for graphics and sound that the NES just couldn't handle. More colors, more detailed sprites, more levels, richer music.
Yeah, Super Mario World just felt so much more alive than the previous games.
And you know what? Yoshi wouldn't even exist without the Super Nintendo. Seriously, the NES just couldn't handle a character that complex.
Wait, really?
Yeah. Miyamoto, the creator of Mario, had always wanted to give Mario a dinosaur pal.
Oh, that's cute.
But the NES hardware just wasn't powerful enough.
So Yoshi is basically a child of the Super Nintendo.
In a way, yeah. And it wasn't just the graphics. The Super Nintendo had a much more advanced sound chip, too, which allowed Koji Kondo, the composer, to really flex his creative muscles.
Oh man, the music. That soundtrack is legendary. Didn't he actually reuse some themes from Super Mario Bros. 3?
He did, but he rearranged them and gave them this whole new, richer sound.
Yeah, like the overworld theme. It's so familiar, but it also feels totally fresh and exciting.
That's Kondo's genius. He knew how to tap into that sense of nostalgia while still pushing boundaries.
And can you imagine the pressure he was under? This is 1990, the height of the console wars between Nintendo and Sega.
Oh yeah, the console wars? Sega was coming in hot with Sonic the Hedgehog.
It was like Coke versus Pepsi, but with video games.
Exactly. And everyone was watching to see if Mario could hold his own against this new, edgy rival.
So they had this new console, a new character in Yoshi, this intense competition. The stakes were high. What did they end up doing with all of that?
Well, they created something truly special.
I think it's safe to say they rose to the occasion.
They more than rose to the occasion. They created a masterpiece. Super Mario World really pushed the boundaries of what a platformer could be.
It wasn't just a graphical upgrade or a new character.
Right. They completely reimagined the structure of the game world.
The world map was so innovative.
So different from anything we had seen before.
It was like they took the idea of a linear path and just exploded.
Exactly. Instead of just going from level 1 to level 2 to level 3, you had this branching network of paths.
And secret exits.
So many secret exits. You could spend hours just exploring and finding new ways to navigate the map.
Do you remember that feeling of finding a secret exit for the first time?
It was like unlocking a whole new layer of the game.
It made you feel like you were really in control of your journey.
And it encouraged you to experiment, to go off the beaten path and see what you could find.
And let's talk about the levels themselves. Each one felt so distinct and memorable.
The level design in Super Mario World is legendary for a reason.
They were challenging but fair.
And always full of surprises. Hidden paths, secret areas, new enemies.
I always loved the ghost houses. They were so spooky.
The ghost houses were great. They added a nice dose of variety to the gameplay.
And the music in those levels was perfect.
Koji Kondo, the composer, really knew how to set the mood.
And then there were the power-ups. The cave feather was amazing.
So much fun to just soar through the air,
And the pea balloon.
floating around like a balloon.
It was so whimsical.
They really let you play with the physics of the game.
Oh, and the spin jump. That was a game changer.
So versatile, you could use it to attack enemies, break blocks, even bounce off those spiky guys.
I spent hours just practicing that move.
It was definitely one of the most satisfying moves to master.
So we've got the innovative world map, the incredible level design, the awesome power-ups, but there's one more element we need to talk about. And that element, of course, is the music.
The music. We can't forget about the music.
I mean, Super Mario World has one of the most iconic soundtracks in video game history.
It's true. Every track is so catchy and memorable.
And it's not just about catchiness. Koji Kondo's work on this soundtrack was groundbreaking.
Absolutely. He really pushed the boundaries of what was possible with the Super Nintendo sound chip.
It's amazing how much he was able to do with such limited technology.
It's a testament to his talent and creativity.
Okay, so break it down for me. What made the Super Mario World soundtrack so special?
Well, first of all, it's incredibly diverse. Each world has its own distinct sound, its own unique feel.
Yeah, like the athletic theme when you're riding Yoshi, the spooky music and the ghost houses.
Exactly. Kondo created these sonic worlds that perfectly matched the visuals and gameplay.
And he wasn't afraid to experiment. Some of the instrument combinations he used were really unusual for the time.
It's true, but it worked. The soundtrack is so unique and memorable because he wasn't afraid to take risks.
And let's not forget the emotional impact of the music. It's not just background noise, it really enhances the whole gaming experience.
Totally. It makes you feel more connected to the world and the characters.
And there's that element of nostalgia, too. Didn't Kondo reuse some themes from Super Mario Bros. 3?
He did, but he didn't just copy and paste them. He rearranged them, reorchestrated them, gave them this whole new life on the Super Nintendo.
It's like he was paying homage to the past while also pushing forward into the future.
Exactly. It's that perfect blend of old and new that makes the soundtrack so special.
So to sum it all up, we've got groundbreaking gameplay, a revolutionary world map, amazing level design, unforgettable music. Super Mario World really is a masterpiece.
It's a game that changed the industry. It set a new standard for what a platformer could be.
And its influence can still be felt today. So many modern games owe a debt to Super Mario World.
It's a timeless classic, and I think it's a game that everyone should experience at least once.
I couldn't agree more. Well, that about wraps up our deep dive into Super Mario World. What a journey. I hope you learned something new today.
Me too. It's always fun to revisit these classic games and appreciate all the hard work and creativity that went into them.
And you know what? I think I'm gonna go fire up Super Mario World right now and relive some of those childhood memories.
Sounds like a great idea. I might just join you.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, everyone. Until next time, keep exploring.